So is it better for new grad nurses to work a day shift or night shift? What's your opinion? Comment down below. But in this video, I will be sharing with you guys what my personal opinion is. So keep on watching. So first of all, in a previous video, which I will link down in the description box, I talked about the pros and cons between day shift and night shift. So if you haven't seen that video, go watch it. But let's get right into this video. So personally speaking, I think that the best shift for new grad nurses to start working in is night shift. And let me tell you why. And that is because during night shift, it is a lot less slower. The pace is slower. That doesn't mean that it's not busy and that it is completely laid back, because that is not true. Night shift can get quite as crazy as day shift. Trust me on that one, because night shift can be, oh my goodness, it can be really bad, especially if you have like sundowner patients. It will be very, very busy, and you just never know. There's just a lot of things that can happen on night shift, and you think they wouldn't happen, but they do happen. They happen on every shift. So don't think that because I'm choosing night shift that means that you won't be busy, because that is not true. You will be busy, but the pace will definitely be slower. And personally, I think it's so important for a new grad nurse to have a slower work environment pace, because you have more of an opportunity to learn within that environment. So that means that because it is a little slower, you'll have a lot more time to research the medical chart of your patient and to find out more about their medical history and what led them to the point of being admitted. You actually learn a lot if you read those medical charts. Like if you start off by reading the H&P, which is the history and physical, if you start reading there, it'll pretty much tell you the entire hospital course of the patient. And because you'll be able to see the physician's notes, and it'll be easier for you to be able to give report to the oncoming shift, which would be day shift, you will actually learn a lot from those charts. So I highly encourage you that if there is downtime during night shift, that you actually sit down and, you know, read those charts and find out more about your patients, because you'll learn a lot. You really will. And during night shift, it'll be a lot more easier for you to learn how to time manage appropriately, because it'll be slower pace. Once again, that doesn't mean it'll be less busy. It'll just be slower because you're not coordinating as much care as you would be during day shift. And I go into details during that day shift versus night shift pros and cons video, where I tell you all the coordination of care that you're doing for the patient during the day shift. So because you're not doing all that during night shift, then you're able to work more on your time management skills during the night as well. That will be very beneficial for the time that you do decide to go to day shift and to leave a night shift behind. You also have a lot more time to learn skills that you probably wouldn't have time to do during day shift. You'll definitely have less resources during the night shift, because you won't have education department around, you won't have management around, you won't have other people that usually would be able to help you. You won't have them around. But that doesn't mean that, you know, that sets you up for failure. It actually helps you, because you are a little bit more autonomous with the care that you provide to the patient, because you're able to make more decisions on your own without having like the different opinions of other people. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna make the decisions for the patient, because you still have to adhere by the orders of the doctor. But during night shift, it's a little bit more feasible for you able to be more autonomous. So for example, if you don't think it's something that's super important that you have to call the doctor, obviously you don't have to call him at night. If it's not that important, you could just wait until the morning to call. And you'll also be able to have more time to learn skills. You'll be able to actually look through the nursing policies, which is something that I would do a lot during night shift, because there's some things, obviously, like I said, you don't learn everything in nursing school. I have a whole video about that too that I'll put down in the description box. But you don't learn everything in nursing school. And then also, not only that, but you might have learned a certain skill in nursing school, but the hospital policy is completely different. Or maybe not completely different, but there's certain things that they do or that they don't do, or certain supplies that they do in that hospital that are different to what you had learned. That is the perfect opportunity for you to read into the nursing policies that are on the hospital's website, and that will give you more of an opportunity to learn more about the skills that are needed, so that when you do come across a skill that you're not sure about, kind of dings in your head and you're like, yep, I read about that in that nursing policy. A quick little tip, you guys, every hospital that you go to, just because you do a certain procedure a certain way in one hospital, that doesn't necessarily mean that it'll be exactly the same in another hospital. So I highly encourage you to look at the hospital nursing policies of every different hospital where you work at, because you'll probably find something different and like different supplies that they use. So I think that's very important. So, and make sure to let me know down in the comments if you started off on day shift or night shift as a new grad, and also what shift would you recommend for new grads to start. I actually started day shift training, and then I moved over to the night shift to actually work my shifts when I was off of training. So yeah, I wasn't very happy at first, but I actually learned a lot during night shift, and I am very grateful that I was able to experience nursing during the night shift, because it really helped me prepare for day shift. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and I'll see you on the next one.